Welcome to Web Studio D's explanation on color modes for webcomics. We're going to go over CYMK, RGB, grayscale, duotone, and bitmap for this segment. And we're going to start out with the most popular and the most important, which is CMYK, which stands for cyan, magenta, yellow, and black. It is featured over on the right-hand side in the Channels panel. And, in fact, let's take a look at each one. There are 4 different channels, a black one, a yellow, magenta, and cyan. And adding them together gives you the full color spectrum for print. That's what makes this so important. If you ever plan on printing anything of your webcomic, such as this patch here, which I was going to have produced for the Dragon Preservation League for my webcomic, Code of Edok, I wanted to start everything in CYMK. I keep a complete file separate for that so that it can be sent off to a printer who will break it down into those 4 colors and print it for you. So CYMK, standing for cyan, magenta, yellow, and black, is for you to use initially to do all your coloration in, save it as a file, just in case one day you want to print. Now when you finish with that and you go to Save for Web and Devices, you're going to find that it will turn into a RGB file. This color mode is different in the fact that it is red, green, and blue, which are the colors, the primary colors for light. These are the colors used for your monitor, for your computer screen. This is what gives you that beautiful 1 million billion gazillion colors and makes everything so vibrant and beautiful. Again, we can break this down and look at different combinations, but basically all together they give you that million bajillion colors for your monitor screen. Now, is there a difference looking at this between the RGB and the CYMK? Absolutely not. They look the same, but if you download this to the internet and then upload it and take a look at it on a website and then you open up the original illustration on your desktop, you will see that the RGB has a tendency to be brighter and crisper. So you may want to consider that if color is important to you so that you don't blind your audience or you make it so muddy your audience can't see. So when you do look at your website, look at how the colors do change slightly. But remember though, no matter what, you're going to want this in RGB to put it on the internet for everyone else to see. Next one we're going to look at is the duotone, which in this case it does look like a grayscale to begin with. But we'll go to duotone. Oops, looks like I was having too much fun here. Let's go back and take a look at it again in its beginning, and that's a monotone. That monotone is one color going from white to black. And by clicking on the black palette here on the left, brings up a palette on the right, the ink selector. We can actually change the color to any single color as a monotone, again going from white to black in that color. I'm going to stay in black now for purposes of this demonstration, but I do want to go over and show you that you can also use it as a duotone and choose a second color, and it overlays the first. So in this case, it's overlaying the black. You can also move it into I got to hit OK. There we go. I always forget, but the computer always reminds me. A tritone, in which we can even add another color in. And I'm looking to see if I can make this that beautiful sepia tone you see in so many beautiful comics and illustrations. And oh look, you can even turn it into a quad tone. Let's see what we can, oh, that's even richer, that's even prettier. So I'm going to leave it there and say okay. And this gives me now the ability to use this as a separate layer if I wanted to behind. If I wanted to give that nice nostalgic look. If I wanted to use it as backgrounds. It gives me so many options of doing a single gradation in a single color from white to black. Plenty of opportunities to play around there. The next one I'm going to head to is grayscale, and of course all of these can be found here under image and mode. We're doing the second one down now, which is grayscale. And this can't be changed. This can only be from white to black. Nice, even, beautiful gradations. Again, used as a background. If you're going to do that noir kind of thing and you're going to go wholly black and white, there you go. You're set. Of course, you can always do layers over it in other colors, but in this case, you are working totally in grayscale. And finally, we're going to go to bitmap, which is black and white dots. Black and white dots. Lots of black and white dots. This is great for you manga people out there who like a halftone or a zip tone. You want to get that nice gradation in there and those little dots. This is also great if you're only going to be doing black and white line work. It'll be super crisp and super clear. So there we go. We have bitmap. We have grayscale. We have duotone, RGB, and CYMK. And for you to go ahead and play around, it's under images, it's under mode, and it gives you 5 different options to use for your webcomics. And if I can make one suggestion, try them all. Don't get hung up with doing the same thing every time. Play around, get different colors, different textures, different feeling to your webcomics. It doesn't always have to be the same thing every time. Don't follow in line with everybody else. Try something new as often as you can. Thanks for tuning in. This is Pete again with Web Studio D, where everything is webcomics.